Hey friends, so this circuit has a light sensor. This thing here is called a Light Dependent Resistor, LDR, or a light sensor. Look what happens when I shine a light on it. The LED goes off. Take it off, it goes on. Okay, so it's sensing when it's dark, the LED turns on. When it's light, the LED turns off. All right, here's what the circuit looks like in Tinkercad. So I have this is a potentiometer at the top, okay? We're only connecting 2 pins. We're just using this as a variable resistor. This is the light dependent resistor or light sensor. And what we're doing in the code, we're actually getting our sensor value that's going into pin A0. That's coming from the light sensor here, so from the top of the light sensor. So what it's really doing, this wire that goes into A0 is measuring the voltage across the light sensor, and that's giving us a number from 0 to 1023. So if we look at our serial monitor, let's run it. If I click on the light sensor and I make it, let's increase the light, notice that sensor value there, it drops a lot lower, it drops down. That's showing that the voltage across the light sensor is decreasing. The reason for that is that when light falls on this light dependent resistor, it makes its resistance less. It's like because it frees up electrons to carry current. So the resistance of this drops and then the voltage across it drops. Okay. Now what we're not sure of is exactly what the resistance of this thing is normally. So that's why we put this potentiometer in here, which has a variable resistance between the top pin and the middle pin. So what we can do, and what we'll do in the real circuit, is we call it tuning, right? So we'll turn the dial on this until our sensor value is, I'm saying roughly 700. So it's something kind of in the middle, roughly, of 0 and 1023. So just adjust that potentiometer until the sensor value here is something around about 700. And then in our code, we have this code here. So if sensor value is less than or equal to 600, then we'll turn off the LED on pin 13, else we'll turn it on. Okay, so now it's running. So right now the LED is on. And then if we shine a light on the LDR so that its resistance drops a little bit, okay, then the sensor value drops and the light goes off. Okay. In the real life one, we do the same thing. So let's go to our Arduino sketch. Okay, so we already uploaded the sketch to the Arduino. Open up the serial monitor. Okay, now, so my sensor value is at 650 already. So I turn the potentiometer knob just so that the light only just turns on. There we go. Then our serial monitor number is just a little over 600. Okay, so I said around 700, but a little over 600 is great. And then what's going to happen is when we shine a light on the LDR, that number is going to drop below 600 and the LED is going to switch off. Okay, and then back on again, off, on again. Okay, so what's happening, folks, is between the top leg of the potentiometer and the middle leg, there's this variable resistance. So when we turn the potentiometer, it changes the value of the resistance here. If this resistance is equal to the resistance of the LDR, this is the light sensor, the LDR, if those two resistances are equal, then we'll get exactly 2.5 volts here at this point. So we'll get 2.5 volts going to A0, which will be around 500 and something. Okay, if you make this resistance a lot less than this one, then you're going to get quite a large voltage here. You're going to get closer to 5, and so this is going to be a higher number, closer to 1023. All right, when you turn a light on and shine a light on this, the resistance of the LDR drops a lot, and so then the voltage here gets a lot closer to 0 volts. Okay, so it's very similar to the way that we were using the potentiometer on its own. When we had the potentiometer on its own, what we had was we had 5 volts on the top pin, 0 volts on the bottom pin, and then depending on where the knob was, the middle pin was either close to 5 volts or it was close to 0 volts. And if it was right in the middle, it was at 2.5 volts, because we're really getting a resistance at the top and a resistance at the bottom that's dividing that voltage. So we're sending some fraction of 5 volts over to pin A0, all right? And that's really how every sensor works. So you can use a potentiometer to simulate a sensor, and it's giving a value from 0 to 1023, or you can put the sensor itself in line with the potentiometer, so using it like a variable resistor, and then you can tune, right? You can tune the potentiometer so that you get a useful number here when the sensor detects something. All right, so you try that, guys. Get it to work in that way, and yeah, hope it goes well for you.